Our wide format department is very detail-oriented, and we pride ourselves in providing high-quality print and install. Let us make your vehicle a rolling billboard to help your business grow for years to come. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
Carlin R, Canty and Carlin. Don't miss them weekdays on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
We're all about hustle and heart. Showing up and showing out.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Crank up another week. Put me in program one only, please. There you go. Thank you so much, Smokey Mike, as we're live here at Woody Anderson Ford. And it's a short week for us because the SEC baseball tournament cranking up tomorrow morning. We're going to have full coverage of the SEC baseball tournament beginning tomorrow morning with Alabama and Georgia. What an ending for the Crimson Tide, taking 2 of 3 against Arkansas. Arkansas, the 5th-ranked team in the country, scored 18 runs on Arkansas yesterday. So hopefully they can save some runs for a tournament run, as they are the 11 seed. They'll take on 6 seed Georgia. Your top seeds of the tournament: number 1, Tennessee, Smokey Mike. Number 2 goes to Texas A&M. 3, Arkansas. 4, LSU. Now, the winner of the Georgia-Alabama game will face Arkansas, which Alabama just had a good amount of success with. So that is what is on hand. In fact, the quartet of games tomorrow begins with Georgia-Bama. That'll be followed by Florida, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and then Auburn and Kentucky close out day 1. That's single elimination tomorrow. Then it goes into double elimination.
Then it goes back to single.
Then it goes back to single on Saturday, or on Friday, rather.
Yeah, the last 4 teams is single.
How are you, Wes?
I'm doing good. Just interesting how the winner and the loser of the SEC tournament could both have the same record. Yeah, very interesting. But I get it. It's a time thing, and
made for TV.
Yeah, a lot of good baseball, though.
Yes.
A lot of good baseball in the Southeastern Conference.
So we will have this is one of a handful of things that we have done every year of this radio station, and this is one of the cornerstone events that we have had every single year of this radio station. Is the SEC baseball tournament. So now, you remember last week with Jimbo and Nick.
What happened last week?
Yeah, that kind of.
Steve Spurrier, I think, put it the best.
Didn't he? Didn't he?
Just summed it up.
Yeah, he really did. What did Nick say that was so out of line?
Yeah, what did he say that wasn't true?
Yeah. That's pretty much what the old ball coach had to say. Well,
he said he guessed that Jimbo was fired up because he beat Saban, which he should have been. He fired up, but
so
he really hadn't won anything.
So after the comments by Jimbo Thursday morning at 10 a.m., he said, go ask anybody. Those were the exact comments. So I did reach out to Ole Miss and got the official "we're not allowed to talk to the media" comment from Ole Miss. I got that late Friday. I asked again today because Jimbo Fisher sat down with a television station over the weekend, KSAT. Here is a little bit of what Jimbo had to say, as evidently this is a 2-part event. They only aired the first part of it from Greg Simmons from television station KSAT.
Did the name, likeness, and image rule figure in any way at all in your decision to expand your contract? Did you give yourself a second thought about, do I really want to deal with this for that much longer, or is it something you're having to adapt to regardless?
Rules are always changing. That had nothing to do with it. And name, image, and likeness, I keep saying this about recruiting, and I just researched this. Of the 11 guys we have in placing that came early, one guy has an NIL deal.
Really?
Yes.
Just one?
Just one. So all these stories you're hearing are complete lies.
Well, now,
because
what happened over the last 48 hours?
Nothing, and it never happened before. Because it was written on social media, and it started with the Bro Bible sliced bread deal.
Right.
So everybody believed it. And Nick, all the people obviously believed it. I went and checked with our compliance people, because we have nothing to do with it. One guy.
Of the 11?
Yes. Of the early enrollees. Of the early enrollees.
Gotcha. So that said, what is all this dust up about then?
Great point.
I've just got to ask you, were you shocked that this came up? Because you just told me you only had one.
I said that about a while ago. It's like, that's why I made the original one back in February, when they said we had $35 million in a thing. That's all false. It was written on social media, so everybody believes it. And you got news channels believing it, big people believing it, and you believed it.
Well, and Nick Saban believed it, obviously.
Well, he's not news. You're news. You're media. Do you guys not research?
But
I'm asking you. Did you do your research?
You just
no. You can't answer. So you just assumed, and that's the way this world goes now. As soon as it's written on social media and someone says it, you believe it. So where does that put you as guys as reporters?
Where does that put coaches like Nick Saban, who know better, if that's the case?
Where does that put reporters at?
So you're defending Nick Saban?
No, I'm asking you guys to put it out in the media. Just hold on. I ain't getting into this.
No, I understand, but I just wanted. Is this change?
It's because social media and media put it out. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
You believed it. You just asked me.
Sure. Does that change anything?
What's it change? Nothing has changed in the beginning. Truth. What's the truth? Nobody wants the truth. You want a story and a click and a hit. What's the next question? See, I threw you off your game right now. Well, you're off your game. You're out of question.
Definitely not out of question.
Yeah.
So how does that change the?
Doesn't change anything. Because I know the truth, and I've always known the truth. That's why.
Then why would he make that accusation?
Have to ask him. Just let me handle it.
Why would he make that accusation, though? If it's
why did you make that accusation?
I didn't make any accusations.
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Has he apologized to you at all?
No, we haven't talked.
Would you accept his public apology?
I said we're not talking.
But he publicly apologized. Do you accept that?
I didn't read it. I don't read social media.
We said it on Sirius XM, but whatever.
I don't listen to radio. I don't listen to that.
Gotcha. Do you think this is of what happened over the last 48 hours? Do you think this is somewhat of a snapshot of a bigger picture problem?
I have no idea.
When it comes to the NIL?
I have no idea. NIL wasn't a problem.
Why are the Aggies so good at this? In other words,
we're not.
Oh, you don't think you guys are more organized and more than any other university?
Mm-mm.
You don't think that would not have been somewhat of a motivation of why he did what he did?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Gotcha. Is there anything you'd like to add to the last 48 hours that have happened here?
Yeah, there was one deal.
There's one deal. That was it. And
I checked on that. And I checked on that from our compliance. That's where it goes.
And that's all 11 of the early signees.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Man, he's like a 2-year-old. It's embarrassing. That's just embarrassing. Those two are both embarrassing. I've never seen anything like it. Huh. I've never heard anything like that ever. They aired that? That was aired?
It was aired.
Wow. Well, that is what it is. That's just embarrassing. They need to rein him in, and he needs to
double secret probation.
Yeah, I mean he's just going to cut his own throat. I don't think anybody has anything. First of all, there's two things. I think we're talking about two different things. NIL is for name, image, and likeness. Somebody pays somebody to advertise, basically,
Yep.
to help push their product.
Yep.
That's different than these collectives just giving money out.
He didn't use the word collectives
No,
there, did he?
No. That is a lot different. And I don't know if the collectives gave out money. I didn't see it transform if you want to get that. But it's been reported by social media that there is a collective that are giving all the Texas A&M players money. Not for NIL. That's where all this is. That's what Coach Saban was saying. Now, if that report's wrong, it's wrong. But that's been reported. And that's the difference. That's what should be. That's what Coach Saban said should be illegal. You should not pay a guy just to go to school. And now the agents are trying to get paid, also get a part of the deal, and that's going to create these huge issues. It's not about NIL. It's not about a corporation approaching a current player and getting and paying to hype their product.
Yeah.
They're all for it, or do signings or whatever.
Yeah. NIL is good. Collectives.
Yeah. If the collectives is
collectives
to pay a high school student to come to the university.
That's a problem.
That's what they're talking about. That's what Coach Saban was talking about.
If
and
we
I
could
think
all
everybody's
move
kind of
the verbiage.
Yeah, because everybody's confused. I believe.
Yeah.
Well, as I was, for that matter. But it's nobody is against NIL. Nobody. It's to paying high school students to go to college, to influence them, and to have agents collecting a percent of the money to give it to the high school. That's where the issues are starting to become, and that's happening. It's like what the FBI and what the basketball was doing, and the FBI got involved and charged people for. It's the same. That's what's going on.
Yeah. All we're missing is the wiretaps.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we'll have another HBO expose, and Dan Wetzel will be in charge of it again. If you'd like to be a part of the program, you can do so on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977. So last week, Chris Lowe was on the program. He mentioned something that he is working on, and it is hard to believe and hard to wrap my head around. 30th anniversary of the first SEC football championship game will be marked this fall.
Remember how cold it was? And tickets were hard to get until the day of the game. Then they were everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was so cold.
I was still in high school.
I believe it was part of the reason that they moved it to Atlanta.
The Dome?
Yeah, because it was so cold that day.
Yeah. Where two SEC championship games were in Birmingham before it moved over to Atlanta.
Both of them were Alabama, Florida. Alabama won the first one. Florida won the second.
So a man who there wasn't a 30 for 30 on it, but there was an SEC program on it, SEC network program on that particular SEC championship game, and the play that saved college football, I believe is the name of it.
I think that was a hyperbole there, though. I don't think it saved college football.
And Antonio Langham, Coach Colley, is going to join us in hour number 2 as we'll talk a little bit of his memories of the very first SEC football championship game. PGA Championship took place over the weekend. I did not watch a lot of it.
I watched it.
Did you?
Well, I mean, I watched it. I mean, Justin Thomas had a ball. It had to hit a rock, but it looked like it went in the water and bounced out of the water. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
It had to be a rock in there.
I've done that.
I've skipped a ball.
Yeah, I've skipped it.
But that came down straight down and bounced straight up. It didn't skip. That's the thing. Yeah.
The quote of the weekend comes from Justin Thomas, a former Alabama star. He was asked on Sirius XM satellite radio by a good friend of the program, Taylor Zarzer, I know you're a Bama guy. Do you have a message for Jimbo Fisher? Yeah, I've got a 24-hour rule, says Thomas, after hoisting up his second PGA Championship trophy. I'm not sure what Jimbo Fisher rule is, but I guess he's got to win something first before he figures out his own rules. Yikes.
It's just, yeah. I mean, I knew it was a matter of time. You know, Texas A&M, when you went there, I went there the first time Alabama played, and everybody was so nice. And they were, you know, just welcome. Don't step on the grass, though.
That's right. Don't step on the
Don't
grass.
get on the grass.
Yep, that's right.
The
Big
grass,
deal.
there's not much grass. And it represents all the people that went to Texas A&M that fought and died for their country. So I get that, you know, not making fun of it really, but it's
I was surprised how many horse stalls were just around.
But everybody was so nice. Now it's just a matter of time before they turned into LSU, right? But here we go. I know it's just a matter of time. Yeah.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Once you get beat enough, it starts. Aggie bait. Yeah.
Well, welcome. Spend your money here. Now your seats are going to be way up there.
Yeah. Well, my seats were before were way up there.
Yeah, the press box is way up there.
Yeah.
Almost like Williams-Brice Stadium there in South Carolina. The only difference is it moves. There's with the movement of the student section and the fans, the swaying back and forth.
At Williams-Brice?
No. At Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And I remember there being that a piece of paper where the media sits saying, "Don't be alarmed by the movement of the stadium. It's natural.
Yeah.
Welcome to Aggie Land."
So I remember the upper deck in Birmingham, the east stands. Boy, they moved a lot.
Moved.
A lot, and finally they condemned them. So I really didn't have a problem being up there for whatever reason. It's under there I used to worry. I sat under there when it rained one time. Southern Miss. It was a horrible day. Alabama played horrible. It's a game they played. It was canceled, and they replayed it after the Auburn game. It was a hurricane makeup game. Anyway, it was a monsoon in November, and I don't remember if Alabama won or not, but it wasn't a very fun game to be at. I remember that.
What was on the nameplate on the front of that section in particular at Legion Field? It was home of college football's
Capital of the South.
Capital of the South. That's it. That's what I couldn't remember. But yeah, I sat in those stands on top, and I did feel it swaying one time. This was a game in the early 90s when Alabama played Cincinnati, and felt it sway after a big play, and half of the fans left. So, yeah.
It swayed bad. I mean, and they used to make it sway, too, which I never understood.
So we will talk with Coach Colley coming up in hour number 2. Certainly your phone calls are welcome on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. So Jimbo says one of his early enrollees, 11 were the early enrollees. One of those 11 early enrollees actually has
Wouldn't you
an
think
NIL
that he would have
deal.
came out and said that instead of being like he was? You know what I'm saying? It seems like to me you would have came out and said it that day, the next day, instead of coming out there. You know, he should have taken a day off and thought about it. You know, you're not supposed to react like he reacted. It was ridiculous.
Well, if you didn't hear in that 4 minutes with the television station, at one point you do hear someone from the side trying to control the situation. I don't know, but I'm sure that's his handler, and he probably got a good stern talking to saying, if you hear the following phrases, shut him up. And I don't think that's going to work too well there in Jimbo land.
Well, I think he was trying to do it. He said he'd handle it. I mean, he didn't like him butting in, that's for sure. I just can't believe they played it. That was, anyway.
That's the first of a two-parter there from that particular television station. And I know Commissioner Greg Sankey is loving that after the verbal slap that was placed last Thursday on both Coach Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. Although, to be fair, Nick Saban also went on radio after the verbal "don't do that again" and went on Sirius XM satellite radio on ESPNU just to more or less apologize because certain coaches were not taking his phone calls in both Clinton, Mississippi, as well as there in College Station, Texas. So that's the latest on that. So moving forward, are you going to remember that PGA Championship more for the collapse or more for the win? Because at one point, Justin Thomas was 7 shots back yesterday.
7 shots back. I think it's a combination of both, right?
Do you remember more Greg Norman losing the Masters?
Yeah.
Or Nick Faldo winning that Masters?
Well, that one was a little different, I think. Man, it's a lot of pressure. It was interesting to hear Spike this morning talking with Tom about the different the way the golf course was set up, and interesting to talk to a golfer about it, how they made it where there was risk but there was reward, and they set it up. Every hole had some risk that you could take, and if you pulled it off, there was reward. If you didn't, it was a problem, and I thought that was really good.
Yeah. No, Spike joined us last Thursday to kind of preview the tournament, but what a tournament it was. And in particular for one golfer out there, I checked it. So Mito Pereira is from Peru, and had he parred his last hole, he would have won $2.7 million. We all know about the double bogey, and so that double bogey gave him a tie with Cam Young and a check of $870,000, which is fantastic. But he lost $1.83 million.
Well, he didn't lose it.
Well,
opportunity cost. He had an opportunity to make it. It's different than losing it. It wasn't ever in his pocket.
It was in front of him to win.
But it was in front of everybody to win at the beginning. He played well enough to get almost there and didn't do it. Because every hole counts. The last hole was just as important as the first hole. Have you ever heard Robin Williams talk about golf?
Oh, yeah. A stroke.
We need to play that one time, yeah.
I don't know if is that arable?
Yeah,
it might be arable.
It's arable. Yeah, you might have to bleep it. It is really good.
Yeah.
It is. I thought he puts it in perspective.
Yeah. My favorite part of the whole deal is him saying, "Are you going to do this once? No way. We're going to do it 18 times."
That is awesome.
Yeah. So Antonio Langham is going to join us at the top of the hour. We'll keep an eye on the Braves. Who do they got tonight? They got the Filthies, the Philadelphia Filthies. Both teams, the Braves and the Phillies, with the same record of 19 up, 22 down. Both teams 8 games back of first place, the Mets. Tucker Davison is on the mound tonight for the Braves against Zach Wheeler, as the Braves are back at Truist to crank up another homestand against Philadelphia. In fact, Braves winners 2 out of 3 over the weekend in Miami, and a very successful way to end the road trip. In fact, after the Phillies, the Marlins come right back into the Braves' crosshairs this weekend, but it is at home this weekend and not on the road. So if you want to jump in, this is the time to do it. We're live here at Woody Anderson Ford. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you can custom order your vehicle as well. You can head over to their website, WoodyAndersonFord.com. Their service department right over there is also what you need to do to your vehicle, if it's a Ford or not a Ford. If you're getting ready for your summer vacations, final week of school for a lot of boys and girls in our listening area as they get ready for their summer breaks. Congratulations to all the graduates out there including my daughter Claire, who was now done with middle school and heading up to high school. So congratulations to Claire, as her final day, I believe, is tomorrow. But I say that to say, get your car ready to go for your summer vacations right here at Woody Anderson Ford. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. Your phone calls to feature on the other side. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Did you know that your car, truck, or SUV may be worth over 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and we'd love your trade-in for a personalized custom factory order on a 2022 Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, or F1. We interrupt this message to announce our $1,000 appreciation cash reward. Attention all active military, reservists, retirees, and all veterans, plus first responders, police, fire department, EMTs, and medical professionals. An appreciation for making Huntsville the great city it is. You'll receive a $1,000 exclusive reward in addition to any public offers on most all 22 Fords. So please come see us today. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. At Woody Anderson Ford, whether it's a new order or a pre-owned, we promise to always do the right thing. Corner of Jordan and Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
back here on campus here at Woody Anderson Ford. Phone line's open to you if you'd like to participate here on a Monday at 256-576-4977. That is the telephone number if you'd like to climb aboard. Good news from the Auburn camp, as this is being reported by multiple sources. And, of course, we found out very early in the process that Texas A&M transfer Zach Calzada did not participate in spring, but he is now a full go. This reported by Nathan King, among others, from 247 and Auburn Undercover, that he is indeed a full go entering into the fall for the Auburn football squad. And I'm fully expecting Zach Calzada to be the opening day starting quarterback for the Auburn Tigers.
Well, I mean, I think the odds are that he will be, but it's not 100%, obviously. He hasn't had practice yet. He didn't beat anybody out. So, there you
go. Coach Brian Harsin met briefly with the media. I believe this is from yesterday, and the subject of the new transfer rules and the 85 rule, otherwise known as the Houston Nut rule, being eliminated was the subject matter. And here's a little bit of what the Auburn coach had to say.
Well, that's really what we have to get these guys on campus and see what they can do. We think they're good players. They're really great people. And now as they get into our program, what are they going to be able to get done this summer? And how fast are they going to learn? So how do we get these guys into the mix ASAP? Which is really up to them. We feel like they're more than capable of doing that. They just got to get here. So our guys are back on Monday. We'll have a team meeting, and then we start our workouts the next day. These guys will all be here. But the addition in the wide receiver room, that's important. On the D-line, that's important. Safety, that's also important. So all those areas, not just for depth, but guys that can come in and compete to play. So I think all those guys have a chance to do that. We just got to see what they do throughout the summer, how hard they work, and how much time they spend getting themselves ready to go.
Right now, does it help that the 25 capper on signing classes is going to be gone now for the next couple of years?
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. That's probably maybe 4 or 5 years we've been talking about that. And I've always felt like we should be able to manage your 85. And I understand the reasons why we did it. There's a history. There's always a reason. There's a history of why we did it. But after a while, for example, if you have a walk-on player, you got to wait a year and you can't give it to him right away because you don't have the numbers. That never made sense to me. If a guy was good enough and deserved it, I really went to the walk-ons. If a guy was good enough and deserved it, why couldn't you give it to him right now? You didn't have an initial gift, so you had to wait. And now, if you lose 10 and you can only bring in 5 initials, then you're really looking at 5 extra scholarships, and what do you do with it? And right now, you can use all 85, which is really what it should be. You should be able to manage your roster. I think that's what they did. I believe this rule will stick when it's all said and done. I think everybody's going to say, like, the 4-game rule, the guys can play. That was a great idea. And they were talking about that a long time ago. They've been talking about this for a while, so to have the opportunity to do it, I think is a good thing.
That is Coach Harsin, and it is a good rule overall because we saw quite a few schools not play with their full 85 really over the last couple of years, Wes.
Yeah, I like the rule, and especially with all the transfers and losing players, and I think it'll help, no doubt.
So Auburn starting to generate more and more moves, and really since National Signing Day in early February.
They need some help. They needed some help in the secondary. They've gone out and looked for it, and I think they've gotten in, and they need some help at wide receiver. And they need some depth. So, yeah.
Worsham from Miami is transferred. He is immediately eligible. Craig McDonald from Iowa State to Auburn. He is a safety and will bring some help, a 3-star, at least according to 247, but an immediate help there for the Auburn football team. So the other bit of news that also came out that didn't get as much of a spotlight on it came from this football scoop story from over the weekend, and it's honestly something we've already been talking about a good bit. And the Pac-12 has eliminated divisions. The Mountain West has eliminated divisions. There is still no word as to whether or not the ACC, right now, they are set to roll with divisions for this season and potentially get rid of divisions next year, according to the ACC. We'll hear more about on that subject around the SEC next week down in Destin when they meet. But what is being called a scare tactic by the Southeastern Conference was, at least the way it was put by a couple of articles, one from The Athletic, saying that a working group and members are trying to put a 12-team college football playoff format together, and the SEC has been banging the drum saying, we're okay with 4, we're just fine with 4. Is it good for the game? Probably not, but we're good with 4, just fine moving forward. That is kind of a paraphrased quote from the Southeastern Conference Commissioner Greg Sankey as to where that conversation stands at the moment, as the contract will wind down here in 3 more years. But we shall see. Yeah.
A lot can happen in 3 years.
Yes.
I don't believe they'll get anything done because they're trying to circumvent the SEC. They don't want the SEC to have multiple teams. And that's what they're trying to figure out how to do.
They got multiple teams with 4.
I know it. That's what they want. That's what the problem. They don't want the SEC to. If they have 12 teams, they don't want 6 of them to be from the Southeastern Conference. That could have happened in a couple of these years. So
just kind of is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean but it's money. It's about money, Steve. They're going to try to figure out the way to steal the money.
You think
get the money for their conference? That's what they're trying to do.
You think out in Texas and Oklahoma?
Well, I mean that doesn't matter. I'm talking about the other conferences. That when they asked Texas and Oklahoma, they thought, oh man, now they're going to get 2 more teams in of the 12, and that's what it's all about. It's about power, TV, and TV.
Do you believe, part of the article that I hear from The Athletic, do you believe the SEC wants to play its own postseason tournament?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, but they have all the power.
Yep.
Because they have the current contract. They have the most gain in the current contract. So why would they want to change it? And it's a contract. It's not like you can get out of it unless all parties agree. So there you go. There's nothing going to happen.
They can't even agree on what they want for dinner, probably.
I think the rest of the conferences agree they don't want the Southeastern Conference to have as much power. So
that ship has sailed.
Well, I know that, but that's what's going on.
Would Greg Sankey and the university presidents that employ him actually push the big red nuclear button if the alliance calls their bluff?
Well, they don't have to push a button. They're sitting in the catbird seat. They got a contract. There's no button to push. They're sitting in the catbird seat. They'd have to agree to whatever these people come up with. They can talk and they're going to try to put pressure on them with this, that. It ain't going to work.
ESPN paid $300 million for the SEC's top game, which is being currently aired on CBS.
This is all postseason money. They're trying to figure out how to get a piece of the pie, the Pac-12.
And how big is that pie?
Yeah, well, I mean, they want an automatic bid. That's what they want. They want the winner of the Pac-12 to have an automatic bid. So they're going to have 12 teams to do it. Although I think USC will pretty soon be going ramshot through the.
You think?
Yes. I think it's just
so you're all in on the Lincoln train.
Well, I think that the USC has made the commitment that has to be made for them to win. Yes. Absolutely.
If he can recruit as well as he did at Oklahoma.
He's already recruiting as well. He's getting players from all over the country. They couldn't even get people to stay. Last year, the two best quarterbacks in the nation were considered to be the Ohio State quarterback and the Alabama quarterback. Both of them came from within were born in the same town in California. So there you go. They weren't as good as JT Daniels, though. Of course, he didn't get to play because he was on the bench, but he's the best quarterback ever that's never played, ever.
He's now at West Virginia.
He was better than the starting quarterback that won the national championship, but he didn't. Everybody knew it. He's on the sidelines, so it's the stupidest thing.
I know you like to go there. That's why I just let you go.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. That guy over there said that after Alabama beat him, it was the quarterback's fault. He actually it was their fault. Gosh. They gave up 565 yards
just asinine.
Of offense. Yeah, I mean, and that the only way they could beat Alabama was with JT Daniels.
I usually leave our recruiting news for our recruiting man and Drudy Armon, but he did want me to pass along the following story. A top prospect out of Louisiana and five-star Newman quarterback Arch Manning has made up his mind on at least three more visits.
Official visits.
Three official visits.
This summer. So he's about to make up his mind is what's about to happen.
You think so?
Yes. That's when he wouldn't do the official visits if he didn't. Most people used to take their official visits during basketball season. And he's taking them this summer because I think he's going to go ahead and get it out of the way before his season starts.
Those three, a well-reported Georgia, Alabama, and Texas.
Who's been saying that the whole time?
Yep. There was some talk of LSU getting into the neighborhood, but they are clearly not in the neighborhood to land the 6'4", 220-pound quarterback who's.
I feel sorry for him because no matter what he does, he's going to be a disappointment. If he doesn't win the Heisman Trophy 3 times, that's why they act like he,
If he has,
have you ever seen him play? I have not watched him play.
I've only seen it on YouTube. You can. You're well versed with YouTube. You can pull up full games on YouTube. Yeah. He has thrown for 6,307 yards, 81 touchdowns, but does not say how many interceptions he has thrown throughout his high school career. If he's half as charismatic as his dad, Cooper, then
you got to like all those man.
Yeah, but
Cooper's
sneaky good.
It took me 20 years to get over Peyton
doing the band thing.
But I got
You're over
that?
Yeah, you're over that?
I'm over it now. Finally. It took me a long time.
What is it? Well, so is this current streak.
Yeah, I was there.
15 in a row here?
I don't know. There's people in high school that's never seen Tennessee.
Yes.
There's a site you could go to.
Yeah, my daughter is one of them. That she has never seen Tennessee beat Alabama. And every year we have the same conversation. And every single mid-October she turns and says, yep.
I do believe that this guy will win one, though. I really do. They played better last year than they played in a long time, I thought. Still lost by 4 touchdowns, but it was in the fourth quarter. I mean, they fought. I like the way they fought.
You buy that, Smokey Mike? When is this streak going to end for your Volunteers?
Well, considering the last time they led in the fourth quarter was 2015, I just want to see something progressing like that.
Oh, I was at that game. That game, they had our signals. They
I remember that.
Yeah,
because that was the big.
They figured it out.
blowback.
You know who figured it out? Wesley figured it out when they self-scouted. And Alabama helped Alabama tremendously. The right tackle, they won the national championship that year. Their right tackle was giving away pass or run, and they had them by formation. They could tell what the play was, and Johnson played unbelievable, was making every tackle because he knew where the ball was going, whether it was run, pass, where it was going.
Vereen also had a huge day. I think he had 4 sacks.
Who did?
Corey Vereen. He's the opposite of Eric Barnett that game.
Yeah, and then in the fourth quarter, Alabama took over the game. But I was riding with the guy, the Tennessee game. He goes, "We all didn't cover." Like he'd won the game.
Y'all didn't cover.
And I said, "Oh, I don't bet. I just watch us win." And then he got his face turns like he's sour. He was. I just couldn't believe it. Like I wasn't going to say anything to him, at all, till he said that.
Latest 247 recruiting rankings for next year for 2023. Tennessee currently 7th on this list. Right in front of them are Georgia and Arkansas. But again, this is very early. But it's nice to see Tennessee in the top 10. In the rankings,
yes,
from 247.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tennessee's going to be good. I think I said last year if he went 6-6, that he could get Coach of the Year, and he went better than 6-6, and really should have won the bowl game. I thought that I well documented what I thought about that game, and I think he did the best job in the Southeastern Conference. I think the 3 people that did the best job to me were. Where's South Carolina coach
Beamer
for them to have a winning record, unbelievable. Tennessee, and then Coach Saban, and you got to say Kirby's done a good job too. I mean, he got all those because he developed those players. There's plenty of people that have good recruiting. He developed those players, and those players played on a very, very high level, and they won the national championship. So to me, those are the coaches that did it. Arkansas's coach did a good job. And I thought Harsin did an excellent job of the first half of the year until he lost his quarterback.
Yep.
So with the players that he had. Now, what I said the whole time with Harsin was, how is he going to do recruiting? And that's going to be his Waterloo if he doesn't make it at all. It already almost was.
Let's take our final time out. We're live here at Woody Anderson Ford. Phone line's open to you if you'd like to hop in on a Monday.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Hey, I'm Ariana. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Southwest Salad is when I take a bite, it's like, wow. I'm getting a punch from the roasted corn. I'm getting a kick from the spicy chicken. It's just great.
Hi, this is Tori. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the avocado lime dressing. It adds to the chicken, the bacon, and the roasted corn. It takes the salad to a whole nother level.
Order a salad for delivery on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, Check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly before 3 o'clock. Otherwise, we'll see a cloudy sky. High temperatures topping out in the upper 70s for the afternoon. For your Monday night, a few isolated showers possible after midnight, a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid to lower 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Back here at Woody Anderson Ford, along with Wes Neighbors. Steve Moulton back here with you as Shutdown Man is on line one. And you can call in, too, at 256-576-4977. How are you, Shutdown Man?
Hey, Steve. As Nick Saban mentioned, Texas A&M finished number one in recruiting, and Alabama finished number two. I know. So I went online, looked. It's like 27 4- and 5-star players that they were able to bring in this 2022 class. Just wanted to ask, what's your opinion? Do you think that these guys just decided to sign with Texas A&M because Jimbo Fisher and his coaching staff did such a great job of selling the school, and that Texas A&M is that level? What's your opinion? Did they sign because of the hard work by Jimbo and his staff, or do you think that they got induced by boosters? Is my question.
Well, I don't know anything for sure. I would suspect that's a little bit of both. It isn't because Jimbo has a good personality. I'd say that. He signed 7 this year, and they got all these rumors going around. Whether they're true or not, I'm not sure. Usually the truth's somewhere in the middle. He says to me it's negative if only one guy got an NIL the way, but because basically the Texas Senate says you can pay him to come. So maybe they just paid him to come and didn't get an NIL. I don't know. But it's awful suspicious that he signed 4 the whole time he's been there, and this year they signed almost twice the amount. And hard work has to be part of it. But And the current situation has to be part of it too. I'd say it's somewhere in the middle, but I don't know anything for sure. I don't think anybody does.
Do you agree that it is wrong for a booster to pay?
Absolutely.
Right now in these times, okay, it still is.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I've read. You know,
Listen,
look at the NCAA rule.
Yeah, it's still a rule. Yeah. Now, if they want to come and say, hey, if I'm a booster and I own a car company and I want you to say, hey, listen, if you come to Texas A&M, you know, I want you to represent me in the car business. You know, representing my company while you're at Texas A&M. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the NIL. But just to pay you to show up,
right?
Excuse me.
They do have to show that they are actually promoting a company.
I mean, absolutely.
Service, right?
Yeah, instead of what these calling these collectives. Listen, I bet I've had 5 people call me, different people that are in the football business, either former coaches or former administrators, trying to help me help them start a collective for Alabama. No kidding.
Has anyone from the school contacted you about, you know, having
not from
Alabama's players, you know, represent or kind of promote you?
Yeah, no. I don't know.
Is that
I don't know.
What you're interested in?
Oh, I would not be. No, I'm not. I'm hands off all that stuff.
It would be a gamble. I mean,
well, I mean, I don't.
For our business to get it. Just like to me, kind of a bust would have been Bo Nix last year. You got him for a few months. Maybe you got your money's worth, or Malachi Moore.
Well, he signed a deal with Milo's, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Right,
I believe.
Both of them did, but I know that they got their name, Milo's name, out there pretty well at the beginning, but both kind of one got injured and.
Do they have Milo's in Oregon? Shut down, man.
I don't know if they have Milo's. I thought about that. Do they have a Milo's in Oregon?
I don't think so, man.
Now we're going nationwide.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
The NIL is I've been for it the whole time. I had a caller said I was against it last week when he hadn't listened enough, because I've been talking about this for 10 years. I thought that they ought to be able to advertise their name, image, and likeness, but to pay a kid just in high school to go to college, to go to a certain school, is, I think, not a good deal.
After changing the pace a little bit, after Alabama softball started out 20-0, as soon as SEC play started, kind of started. You know, they looked a lot different than they have over the past few years. And, of course, it all ended. They didn't make it out of the regional this week. What's your opinion on how that all went down? How the season ended,
it just looked like they kind of ran out of gas offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, and, I saw some negative articles about the coach went small ball too early, this or that.
Hard to know.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm not a softball expert. I know they've been on a good run, and sometimes
before this year they had won, I think, 44 straight regional games. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they're a good team.
That's pretty good.
But you got to have it every day. They didn't have it this week.
I think the previous high was around 26.
Yeah, I think the Pac-12 has some good softball teams. Looks like to me too.
Yeah.
So they lost to Stanford, and it's sad, but at the same token, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Antonio Langham joins us right after this Sports Center update. We're live here at Woody Anderson Ford.
Did you know that your car, truck, or SUV may be worth over 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and we'd love your trade-in for a personalized custom factory order on a 2022 Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, or F150. We interrupt this message to announce our $1,000 appreciation cash reward. Attention all active military, reservists, retirees, and all veterans, plus first responders, police, fire department, EMTs, and medical professionals. An appreciation for making Huntsville the great city it is. You'll receive a $1,000 exclusive reward in addition to any public offers on most all 22 Fords. So please come see us today. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. At Woody Anderson Ford, whether it's a new order or a pre-owned, we promise to always do the right thing. Corner of Jordan and Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Major League Baseball has suspended Yankees third baseman Josh Donaldson one game, fining him an undisclosed amount for his inappropriate comments Saturday towards White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson. MLB says Donaldson's comments were disrespectful and unnecessary. Donaldson says he'll appeal. Meanwhile, the Yankees have already placed Donaldson on the COVID-19 list. They did that before tonight's game at home with Baltimore. Game 4 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics hosting Miami. Heat won't have Tyler Herro for this one, out with a groin strain. Jimmy Butler expected to give it a go for Miami. The Celtics list Robert Williams and Marcus Smart as questionable. For Smart, the injury issues are piling up, says ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
The drama for the Celtics is Marcus Smart going to be cleared because you think it's the right ankle, and that we saw that, and that was bad. But it's not just the right ankle. He's got a right foot sprain on the same foot, and he's got a quad injury on the same leg. His whole right leg has been in one giant treatment zone now for a month.
Yep.
So, and if the Celtics are going to have to balance caution, because if they lose this game, it's big trouble, and knowing how important he is.
That's ESPN's Brian Windhorst. Celtics and the Heat coming up 8 p.m. Eastern for ESPN's NBA Countdown. Kevin Winters got it here on ESPN Radio. Tip on ESPN and ESPN. Oh, it's actually ABC and ESPN Radio. Just after 8:30, Stanley Cup playoffs. 2 more games. Lightning in Florida, Colorado at St. Louis.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
I picked them to win the division, even with the potential of Deshaun Watson missing some time and Jacoby Brissett taking over for them.
The guys will be back Tuesday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here at Woody Anderson Ford. This is the only day of the week we are on due to SEC baseball. The SEC baseball tournament will take over the airwaves tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9:25 a.m. for your pregame from the Crimson Tide Sports Network as Alabama and Georgia square off. And then after that, the SEC Radio Network will take over for a full day of college baseball that will roll into, hopefully, the raindrops can stay out of Hoover all the way to Sunday for the championship game. So one thing that we did mention last week on the program, this being the 30th anniversary year of the SEC football championship game, and that got my bells buzzing and ringing, I guess I think is a better word for it, as Antonio Langham joins us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach Collie, how are we doing?
Hey, man, how y'all doing today, man?
So I didn't know you were that old. I didn't know you were that old, Collie. I was in high school during that game.
Man, what are you guys up to today?
Well, he stole what I said. I was actually in high school. It was my senior year, and I remember that game vividly and thinking how revolutionary that game was and how much that really kind of gave us the birth of a playoff down the road.
Well, I guess some people had a vision. They were on point with their vision. If they had gone
but
wrong,
honestly,
I don't know if they'd be.
Yeah, you guys weren't excited to play that game, really.
Was never excited about playing that game, man. We finished up. We going straight to New Orleans for the national championship game. We don't have to worry about a conference championship game. But I guess, you know, it was for the betterment of the other SEC conference and for college football altogether. But with all this mess they got going on now, I don't know if college football wants to
It is kind of crazy what's going on now. But you know, the thing about it, Antonio, what's the truth and what is fiction? You know, what's fact and what's fiction? And
Can I just say this? I ain't mean to
Go
cut you
ahead.
out, Wes. Can I just say this?
Sure.
Coach Saban, when he says stuff, as long as he's been around the game, when he says things, he's strategically planning and saying things that he's going to say. He's just not coming out and just blurting out stuff. So maybe, yes, he was wrong for probably singling out Texas A&M and Jackson State. But what's one thing about this whole, none of the NIL deals these kids are receiving is a secret. It's not like the NCAA said you can get these kids NIL deals in secrecy. You know, it's not that. It's almost like it's public information. Was he wrong for probably singling out one or two schools? Yes, but what he was pretty much trying to get to say was, I'll take a little heat, but NCAA, you better listen carefully to what I'm saying. You are creating a storm that is going to be hard to get to go away. It's going to be hard to make go away if you don't get involved ASAP. And that's all he was saying. He wasn't trying, because nothing, and he never said anything anybody was doing was illegal. He just saying, you better get control of it before it get out of hand. You don't
You're
want to start
absolutely
playing
right,
the same game.
Oh, man, you're absolutely right. And what he said, I mean, so when I first heard it, I didn't know what to expect because, you know, but when I listened to the whole thing, I was like, well, he just explained where everybody can understand what's going on. And what's going on has nothing really to do with NIL. It's under the veil of NIL. They're just paying these kids to come to school.
There you go. That's all he was saying. Look, it was never put in place for you guys to use it as a recruiting tool. It was put in place supposedly to keep kids from taking improper benefits. But no, now you're saying, okay, look, if you sign here, you sign here. I can make sure you have an NIL deal if you sign here. So everybody is signing. But here's the problem, though, man. Now the kids are using it like free agency. You just start running back at a school, or you just start defensive back, or you just start quarterback somewhere. You go out and you play your first year at a school, and then you go into the transfer portal. Why? You knowing that you knowing if you go in the portal, you can come back to the university. You don't sign somewhere else. Why are you going in the portal? Because you're hoping that there's some schools out there that's in there, which they are. Everybody that's assigning coaches are looking at the portal. They're looking at the portal, and then they're saying, these kids are hoping that some other university are calling and saying, wow, you know, how much NIL money are you getting at this university? Well, I'm getting this amount. Well, what if I can double it if you come here? What you think they're doing? Why? A lot of these kids are jumping in the portal for what? You were a starter at your university. Why are you in the portal? You had a good season. Why are you jumping in the portal? Because now it's all about the NIL money, man. I knew it was going to be a storm when they created this NIL deal. I knew it was going. The portal has become a mess, and the NIL deal has become a mess. What's about to become worse than the NIL deal and that transfer portal? Listen to me carefully. A lot of these high school, and I think I said this before on y'all show, a lot of these high school kids are getting left in the cold because of this portal and all this mess. What's about to happen is you got the USFL that's out here, and you got the XFL that's coming along. what they're going to start saying is, oh, so if y'all going to just ignore these young kids that are coming out of high school because y'all are so engulfed in the portal and trying to find players, what if we start paying some of these high school kids now to go to college and come straight and play for the USFL or the XFL? Then what?
Boy, it'd be hard, though. I don't care who you are. You go and you're at 19 and you skip a step.
Ooh, that's
right?
a big step, too.
Man, think about that for a minute. The jump. Even though that that'd be hard, Antonio. I wouldn't I had enough trouble with the cats that were at Alabama when I got there. Oh, my God, if they'd been professionals.
It's hard, yes. Wesley, Steve, I agree. It's hard, but it's not a hard decision to make when I'm being left out in the cold, when I'm being
I see the point you're making, though, and I think it's well taken. Well taken.
So we better fix some things and fix it quick.
What's the answer?
Well, but you know how many people Louisiana Lafayette signed? 8.
How many? 8.
8. They got the rest they're getting from the portal, and a lot of these, the 6 years, because this year they couldn't keep if you had an extra year, so they're keeping some 6-year guys too. That's hurt these high school kids too.
Once we can get past that extra COVID year that these guys are receiving, then I think we can go back. I think recruiting high school kids will pick back up. This extra year that everybody was giving as far as COVID is concerned is killing a lot of kids because those scholarships are counting toward the university, the program. So once we can get past that, I think with recruiting will get back to some kind of where it used to be, where it should.
But one of the problems too now is the things that you hated in the past were coaches pimping out their players, to different universities. That happened. Alabama actually got in trouble.
Right.
When they got in trouble was for that. But that's going on now. They're calling saying, how much are you going to give me my kid and what's in it for me? I've had a coach not long ago just say what's in it for me when I was talking to him. It's just interesting. So
look here, man. Let me tell you something. This mess has gotten to the point it's all about the almighty dollar. What can you do for me? What can you give me as far as the almighty dollar is concerned? You can give me this, I can give you that. I mean, it's crazy, man. Look, I mean, who's to say what it would have been like, Wes, if we had to come through in this era, how it would have been. But to be honest with you, I'm glad I came through when I did. It was just it was just a matter it was just a matter trying to decide where you were going to go to school. There wasn't a whole lot else out there for you to consider. But now all this stuff they got going on now, man. I don't think I want to be a part of that dance.
What do you think the answer to this problem is? Because it's going to bubble up here rather quickly.
I think Coach Saban gave a pretty good answer. You give every kid the same.
There it is.
You get every kid the same to come. They give them $25,000 to come, and then they can do their own NIL deal when they get to the schools they are.
There you go. Because if not, how are you going to ask me if I'm coming in and I'm going to walk on or I'm low man on a totem pole? There's only certain guys on each football team that's going to get the NIL money.
Yeah.
The quote unquote superstars considered. Those are the ones going to get the money. That's who the companies are going to want to represent them. Not the guys that are the scout team guys that are out there giving them a look every week so they could be ready to go on Saturdays. They're not getting anything. Imagine what some of these younger guys, or some of these other guys that are not quote-unquote superstars, are receiving for an NIL deal. Nothing. And then you're going to ask me to come out there in 100-degree heat and give you everything I got, everything. But this cat over here driving a Range Rover, and he's sponsored by a Range Rover, and you're going to ask me to give you everything I got weekend, day in and day out? And I'm probably getting what, $500 NIL money if I'm getting that. Come on, man, you're causing too much dissension in the locker room. Because I'm gonna come to practice someday and I'll be like, man, I'm not busting my tail for him.
Yeah, I got a biscuit from Hardee's, right?
There you go.
This guy's driving a Range Rover, and I get a biscuit every morning.
There you go. There we go. Get everybody the same amount. Keep everybody happy. Then you're gonna continue. You're gonna continue to get positive results. If you don't, this thing is about to go way left. And when it goes way left, once it jumps off the track, it's gonna be hard to get it back on.
I agree, and I think you're right. That's exactly what Coach said. That's what he was saying. Sums it up what he was saying.
A Texas running back signed a NIL deal with Lamborghini.
No way.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's going to roll up to his first practice this fall in a Lamborghini.
Wait till he wrecks that sucker. He did that.
Yeah, you got to worry about wait till you have to buy one tire for it.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine's son wrecked his Lamborghini. Said he got sideswiped in the Burger King parking lot.
That's a great sentence right there.
Yeah, he you know what? He got swiped by a wooden car because there was tree all on the side of it. He had bark. He got hit by a car with bark on it.
A wooden car. Paging Henry Ford.
Yeah.
Paging Henry Ford.
He got sideswiped. Hey. That's what he said. That was his story. He was sticking to it. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So other than the obvious, what do you remember most about that 92 championship game that's now 30 years in the rearview mirror this fall?
We get to relive it every year, right? How many times a year do you get interviewed about that?
I get interviewed a lot. Maybe I need to get an NIL deal. Maybe I need to get an NIL deal on this whole 92 journey. Let me get an NIL deal just to tell this story every year. Let me get an NIL deal. You know who I would like an NIL deal from?
Who's that?
Y'all won't believe it. Wes Neighbors, and I want Wes to name 2 of his cows after me.
They already got 3 named after you. Collie 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
I will one day. Kylie, one name Antonio, and the other name Langham.
I thought you said you were coming to see me. You know, he every year, Antonio are on the Bryant Jordan Foundation, for the Bryant Jordan Foundation, on the Coach Bryant. We give out the award. And this year, he did the presentation, and he was some kind of star. I'm telling you, and you did a great job.
All the
Antonio.
way from Town Creek.
Yes,
all the way from Town Creek. And the lady from Auburn, what she said, and really, I had to follow up behind Antonio. Really,
I know. It was so. Is that not amazing what they do?
Oh man, that Brian Jordan Scholarship, yeah.
Every year,
Brian Jordan Scholarship banquet is amazing, man. You sit in this room and you interview all these kids coming through there, man, and you got to find the right fit and the best candidate, man. You get to interview these kids and you ask them all kind of questions, and then we're going to change hours next year. We're going to put our backs to the door so when the kids come in, we don't have to get up and do so much walking. I think my Fitbit started going crazy. I reached way too many steps. They were telling me time to rest.
Yeah, that was. But we interview these kids, Steve, and it's amazing. It changes your whole attitude. Time to
we went down there, I think, twice.
Yeah, we did a show from down there and interviewed Tommy.
Yes, we did.
Was one that, it was responsible for it all, and now it's kind of me and Antonio and a couple other guys. Rick Davis played at Alabama, and Steve Shaw's an attorney, and Joe Holcutt, was the mayor of Colleyville, Texas, at one time, and he lives across the street from Coach Saban, actually. Was actually my tutor in college, but he is and those guys come every year. You know why? It's the most gratifying thing, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. I've been doing it, I think, now for 15 years. And
Tommy, incidentally, Tommy Brooker, for those that could not interpret what Wes was.
Yeah.
When we just say Tommy,
Yeah,
I wanted to
Tommy Brooker. Of course, yeah.
Wanted to clarify.
It's actually my godfather.
Exactly who we were talking about. The late great Tommy Brooker.
Yes, late great Tommy Brooker.
Steve, listen, we were in an A club meeting one night, and Wes could not make it to the meeting. And for some reason, because Wes could not make it to the meeting, Tommy was not happy about it. So to let us know that he was not happy about it, he majority of the night during this meeting, he would always say this: "Well, we went through this, and we did this, and we did this for this player, and we did this for this, and oh, by the way, Wes Neighbors, he's my godson. He couldn't make it tonight. I hate he couldn't make it, and we did this, and we did that, and oh, by the way, I hate Wes couldn't make it, but Wes, he's my godson." Hey, Steve, I started to text Wes and says, "Is there any way you can get on a helicopter and
He was texting us, please come.
Would you please show up? Because if I have to hear Tommy tell us one more time that Wes Neighbors is his godson, I'm just gonna walk out of the restaurant."
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
I was gonna send a Batman signal up, a spotlight in the air. So Wes, please get to the meeting.
Oh man. Well, it
dart over to the nearest helipad and have at it.
Anyway, if you ever have so the one thing that we want to push is if you're out there and is get these counselors. You'd be surprised, Steve, that so they give all this money away every year to people. Everybody there gets there are 108 people, I think, were there. Everybody is getting at least $3,500 minimum scholarship to go to whatever school they want to go to. Right. And then there's different scholarships. Like we're just giving it to people who want to go to Alabama, just like Auburn does. And there can't be athletes, so we're giving them these to usually one person in need that's done something to overcome some kind of whether it's some kind of disability, and then also if and then usually somebody's scholarly. We try to choose somebody. A lot of these kids get full scholarships anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to get somebody that really needs the money, that kind of in between, and that's why we do the interviews. And but for example, there's one kid that wanted to walk on to Alabama, so we can't help him. But while we're sitting there, there's a Methodist, there's a new one that gives out scholarships. While we're sitting there, this kid was a great kid. They're giving out scholarships to people who don't have, are from single parent families, and they're giving full scholarships. If you go and live and help them, they help them go through school at the Methodist retreat, like a little retreat down there. You go to school and they help you with your schooling and get you through college. There's all kinds of opportunities in this state. It's unbelievable. So I love to talk about this, but these guidance counselors, like in the Birmingham area, is underserved. We don't get enough people from Birmingham, but but everybody should be pushing their counselors to. All you need is a rec letter, and then to the recommendation, and then to get it started. And then they pick from there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's one way not to win, and that's not to have not participate. And they've given away how many scholarships? It was some incredible number of what they've given in the last 30 years. It's just amazing. And it's such a good deal. The Bryant Jordan Scholarship, it is what it's called, and then from there are all kind of people there giving. Dr. McCullough gives a scholarship to somebody, a full ride to med school.
Jeez,
so
that ain't cheap.
Yeah, so there's all kind of different, and there's tons more scholarships that are given to the people that are eligible that go there. So everybody needs to work with their guidance counselors. If you're listening to the show, and it is one of the best things that I've been a part of, and it's an awesome thing for the state.
This is just for seniors going into college.
Yeah, but I think usually they start writing these letters their junior year and different things. But there's the guidance counselor can talk to Bryant Jordan. They'll help them through it. They just want more people participating. And Antonio's been such a blessing to the Bryant Foundation. We help 4 players also, and he's helped with that. And he's been a leader, and that's what this is about, is giving back to both the people that played at Alabama with what we do, and to the high school students in the state.
It really is. And I really wish that all the counselors would get involved with this and send these applications in, man, because like Wes said, this Brian Jordan Scholarship deal, they are giving away a lot of money. You looking in the booklet, Wes, Sam Shea was one of the winners one time,
yes,
1 year.
He was one of the winners.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of kids that you recognize and have done well. What's amazing is, I would say, wouldn't you say about 75% of the people that we interview has one family member that's either a teacher or some kind of administrator for a school?
Right.
Because they know about it.
So just the lack of information.
Yeah, so I think it just takes a little work, and people are busy, and maybe they forget about it, but these administrators aren't forgetting because they know it's a great deal.
Yeah, it is. It seemed like everybody we interviewed or something, one of them, they had a parent or something that was in education. They were
in education.
They were something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Antonio, anything else got you up on the soapbox that you want to pound your chest about, or you good right now?
I'm just going to be my last day. I'm going to pound my chest about. First of all, Jimbo rant was not called for like he went off, but he did it. So now, whatever the consequences now, one thing I know about my boy now, he don't, he may be apologized. He don't take kindly to a lot of stuff now. So you can best believe that's going to be in it. He going to have that in his, it's going to be stuck in his crawl for a minute now. So Jimbo better be ready for that. And then my other thing, then I'm done with this, man. Deion, you need to answer Coach Saban's phone call and talk to him, because you're one phone call away from either being in the Aflac commercials or being out of them.
The Dutch going to get him.
You may want to call him and talk to him and have a conversation. Let's see what y'all can figure out. Because you one phone call away from here, but you either being in the Aflac commercials or out of them.
Well, you know what? So I don't understand how they report that a kid got $1 million NIL, and then everybody else calls everybody else a liar for saying.
Well, he did tweet. The athlete in question did tweet and said, "I did not make $1 million." And Deion retweeted that tweet from the student athlete and said, "I don't make $1 million either at Jackson State."
Well, you don't have to when you get paid from all other avenues. You're fine. What you complaining about? Yeah. Now, my guy came out. Now, my guy like that. He won't have to worry about being reprimanded by the SEC with Spurrier. Where was Spurrier? Said Spurrier. Well, did he tell a lie? Did Saban
yeah. I thought Jimbo put everything.
That was the best line. Yeah. Best line came from the old ball coach. There's no doubt about that.
Coach. He said, "Hey, well, did he tell a lie? It'd have been different if he told a lie. He didn't tell a lie."
Oh.
So what Jimbo? He said, "What's Jimbo so upset about? He didn't tell a lie."
He had another interview with another television station.
We played earlier. It's the worst interview I've heard in a long time. It's like a 2-year-old.
I played the defense card pretty good, but there was a lot of.
Why do an interview? Why just not do it? Why don't just?
It's
going to be like that.
Jimbo.
Yeah. Did you get recruited by Jimbo, Antonio? No, he was probably. He's younger then.
Yeah, I didn't get recruited
how
by
old
Jimbo.
you are.
When you're that upset, man. I heard that way. I heard it. When you're that upset about something, then it make me feel like you guilty about a little something now.
We were talking about last time we heard somebody that defensive was Hugh Freeze. when he challenged somebody, anybody to call in.
He was in the basement there at in Oxford, Mississippi, and said that he turned into a wrestler. Anybody got any information? Just give me a call.
Yeah, they had 1,500 phone calls.
Yeah, they did.
Anyway, so I mean, I'm happy that the athletes are able to do the NIL like it's supposed to be. I think you ought to be able to sell your own image and likeness, just like the Olympic model. But I don't think they ought to be paying high school students to come to their college. Once they get there is a different story. And if they are, I think it ought to be the same, like Coach Saban said. It's anything to help. Some of these families need help. I get it. I mean, but there's a huge can of worms going to be opened up, and I predict there'll be a lot of people get in trouble with the tax man and everything else before it's over.
But why are you paying them? They haven't even made it to college yet. They haven't even proven themselves out of the 20-some players they signed or whatever the limit is. How many may paying out and how many may not? So what's going to happen? If you bring this kid to university, you're giving him an NIL deal, and he's not paying it out, how you going to hold that conversation? How you going to bring him in the office and say, son, we're not getting what we thought we were going to get out of you, so we're going to take your NIL deal away from you? Really?
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
It's going to be ugly. Bring them in there and let them earn it. Bring them in.
That's what NIL is supposed to be for. Yeah.
You prove yourself, then you get your money. If you don't, but hey, well, I don't work for the NCAA.
All right, Antonio,
come see me.
Yeah, come on up to North Alabama.
I'm gonna come up there and sit in the studio, man. I want to sit in the studio, man. I want to sit in the studio
anytime.
And give you and Wes a hard time all day, the whole show.
We'll call it the Antonio Langham Show. It's just a brief engagement that will just turn the entire show over to you, sir.
Don't do that. Let's call it the 5 Iron 5 Show.
The 5 Iron 5. That's what they call my brother.
Yeah.
That's the only man I ever seen. That's the only man I ever seen hit a 5 iron from 150 yards out and make it. I mean, I'm talking about drill that I just looked at him. I said, you know what? And Keith, since I talked about the rest of the
he used to putt with the thing too. He just carried that thing. He couldn't hit another club.
And after that, that was over with. He talked about that the rest of the night, so that was all. I don't think he hit another shot after that when he talked about that on the wrist.
Yeah, he's still talking about it.
Thank you, Antonio.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. You know what? You guys take care, man. I always love and enjoy talking to you guys, man.
Likewise.
I'll see you soon.
Thought he was going to call the cows home.
Yeah, he's something else.
Let's take our first time out. Phone calls open to you on the other side as we're live here at Woody Anderson Ford.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now, because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
The Trash Pandas are back for 6 games at Toyota Field starting Tuesday, May 24th against the Tennessee Smokies. The week's promotions include an Izzy Wilson bobblehead giveaway on Tuesday, Armed Forces Night on Thursday, and a Trash Pandas camo cap giveaway on Sunday. Get your tickets for all the fun now at TrashPandasBaseball.com. Let's rock it.
Right in early tomorrow morning, the SEC baseball tournament will start with our coverage from the Crimson Tide Sports Network. The tournament has been held every year since 1977, with the exception of 2020. But once again, Hoover Metropolitan Stadium will be the host of the SEC baseball tournament. 6-seed Georgia takes on 11-seed Alabama. Bright and early tomorrow morning. Pregame set for 9:25. First pitch for 9:30. We'll then join in progress the SEC radio network as soon as postgame is done for Bama. This is single elimination round tomorrow. Florida is the 7 seed, South Carolina the 10 seed, and then the evening session will be Vanderbilt Ole Miss. That's the 8-9 matchup. The winner there moves on to play Tennessee. And then Auburn, Kentucky is the 5-12 matchup. Auburn, the 5 seed, Kentucky, the 12. Winner there moves on to take on LSU. The Florida-South Carolina winner takes on Texas A&M. And the Georgia-Alabama winner moves on to take on Arkansas